Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, everyone listening within the sound of my wonderful, amazing voice. This is episode 44. 8 more weeks, and it'll be a year. A year of 301 Outlet Pod, man. It's been quite a journey.
It really has.
It's been man, it's been something, man. It's been a roller coaster. And I know that we're gonna continue the wave, man, because we're growing every day. We turn our heads every day, making changes and making splashes every day. And that is the way we do here at the Three on Outlet Podcast, man. We say our shit, we keep it going, we be entertaining, and we get the people, man. We people of the people, as we say. So we have two guests coming on today, but they're going to be coming on a little bit late, which is perfectly fine. They told me I knew beforehand; it was completely understandable. So, but for right now, you're getting the typical four musketeers, man. And before I let them get their word in, before we get started, just want to do a quick statistical talk, man. We almost at 2K total downloads. We are at 1.7, baby. We can get the two before the end of the year. I know we can do it. No, we can do it. Just got to push a little bit more, and get that goal, and that'd be great. So before we get started, how y'all doing today? How's everybody doing? How y'all feeling? We at the end of October. We about to enter November. We about to enter Thanksgiving season, and then the holiday season.
I'm
Sensational.
not I'm not gonna hold you. I woke up from a nap and I just finished eating literally about 5 minutes before I hopped on here.
Nah, nah.
Got the
Part of me is
itis.
not. Part of me is thinking about how these kids gonna be trick or treating while the Washington game is on Sunday. If anybody ring my doorbell while Washington is in the red zone, we fighting.
What time y'all play Sunday?
I'm swinging on parents.
Wait, y'all play a primetime game Sunday?
No. We playing Denver.
Oh, no,
Oh, they got the
what
late
time
they
y'all
got
play Sunday?
Yeah, we got the
afternoon game.
we in Denver.
Afternoon game. Oh, kill. I feel what you're saying.
If anybody ring my doorbell while we about to score, I'm fighting parents, dog.
Nah, bro, I'm gonna throw
Swinging on
peanuts
parents.
at you, bro. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get a whole
Oh,
handful of
peanuts, I
peanuts.
don't care.
I'm gonna just chuck them.
Washington, y'all in some deep shit right now. We can probably get to that now or later though, but
Oh yeah.
Y'all,
You talking
y'all
about
not
yeah,
y'all not
yeah.
getting candy. Y'all getting holy water thrown on y'all.
I'm dead.
Nah, bro, they're gonna get
That's
can. I'm
it.
gonna throw them. I'm gonna throw them some candy corn. That's what I'm gonna throw them.
So that and the stink candy, that shit. I don't know what that shit is.
Oh man. Now
Man, to each his own is about that.
what's that fucking peanut candy that niggas be throwing?
circus peanuts.
Yes, bro.
Man, y'all making me want some candy now. I got some nerds, bro. Upstairs, bro. I got some nerds
Them
around,
nerds to be
bro.
smacking.
Bro, I got the little joints that's like all together, bro.
Oh yeah.
Bro,
The
yeah, the
clusters?
little crunchy
The
joint. Yeah, the little
clusters,
cluster
clusters.
joint.
Them joints be
Bro,
torch.
make me hungry as shit now, bro. Hey, it's the holidays, hey, Halloween time, bro.
Hey man.
Coming
Hey,
up.
man.
It's
You
the fall
already know.
season.
But
Fall season, man.
let's dive
Good
into the
food.
topics for today. We're going to talk about the NFL. We're going to talk about non-quarterback MVPs that are not named Derrick Henry because that's what everybody is saying. We're going to talk about NBA Week One overreactions and just what's been popping off in the first week of the season. We're going to
The
talk about the NBA
overreactions.
top 25 list that they came out with. I have one list that is unranked and one that is ranked. So that's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to the debate because I know all four of us we kind of value different things when it comes to ranking. So it's gonna be a fun debate. Looking forward to that. We're gonna talk about the World Series a little bit. We're gonna also review for Lauren 2 by Walleye. We're gonna have DMV talk. The DMV talk will be great. We're gonna talk about the Howard U housing crisis. You know, they found there was like mold and like they would have ants and roaches in the room and stuff. It was crazy. And then we're gonna end it off with love language. So let's get NFL Week 7 out the way, man. Man, we halfway through the season. Time is flying. Time is really flying. So the only thing I'm not gonna talk too much about that because we got destroyed by the Bengals. Like we got slapped in the mouth and
All three of y'all teams got dog walked. I just want to put that
yep,
out there.
yep.
We gave up
Mm-hmm.
24 points to Aaron Rodgers. I wouldn't call that dog walk.
See, I wasn't even going to say anything, but okay, you're right though. We did. Honestly, you're right. I have not much to talk about when it comes to the
Like
Eagles. So
it's to the
yeah.
point where the Bengals are now me and the Ravens and the Bengals are tied for first place in the NFC AFC North. So I said NFC,
Told people, I
AFC
told,
North.
hey, like I said a couple episode ago, they're going to be that sneaky good team, and hey, that take is
Now you
coming
know the
through.
team I felt the
Like, you
worst
know,
for this week, the Jets.
I mean, it's the Jets.
The
It's
Jets.
like it's the
No,
Jets.
I know, but bro, that game was
Nah, but
yikes.
like hope
Yikes.
Zach Wilson, bro. Like hope he gets better because that injury he had.
He had a PCL strain, so he's gonna be out for about 2 to 4 weeks. He'll be all right.
Yeah, he's gonna have to
As
bounce
long
back.
as
Yeah, you know,
I was like, as long as it's not
going
an
through rookie pains
ACL,
right now.
it's
Yeah, good
all,
thing it
it's all
wasn't.
good.
Right, Zach Wilson.
But
You know, honestly, this year's draft class is not really looking the best, but you know, I feel as though they're all gonna get better. Like they can only get better from this year because this year's draft class this season, all rookies not playing the best.
My problem with people with this QB draft class.
Yeah, QBs in particular.
With the QB class, because
they're so hyped up.
Is the fact that people was trying to sit here and say that it was the best quarterback class since I think like the John Elway, Dan Marino class.
Oh, that's
a
stretch.
Like before we even saw them play a preseason game yet. So I mean, for real, I just want to say, just hold your horses on that. I think the one that looks the best right now, I would say, is Mac Jones, because Mac Jones is in a system that actually, like, what is it? Complements his strengths, complements what he does. Belichick's system is perfect for Mac Jones. I think Justin Fields plays on the best team, but his offensive line, his offensive line is just horrible. Like it's ridiculous how bad that offensive line is, and how the fact that Justin Fields needs to run for his life every game. Zach Wilson plays for the Jets. That says enough. Trey Lance really just isn't ready yet. And Trevor Lawrence,
Jaguars.
He plays the same with Zach Wilson. You know, plays for the Jets. He plays for the Jaguars, and Davis Mills is just in a terrible situation.
Yeah, so, the Texans are just
but about the Texans, I feel like the only reason why they've been playing as bad as they have been is because their starter got hurt in Tyrod Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if Tyrod was not hurt, they beat the Patriots. If Tyrod's not hurt, they win probably. Instead of them being like 1-6, they'll probably be like 2-5, 3-4, maybe 4-3. They play in that terrible division. But you said that the Ravens and Bengals are tied for the top of the AFC North. Bengals got it because they got the tiebreaker against.
Oh yeah, they got the tiebreaker. Yeah.
Against
I was looking at the record.
And right now, if the playoffs started today, the Bengals would be the top of the AFC. They would have to bye.
Division champions.
And I don't think the Chiefs would be making the playoffs.
They won't. That's crap. That's wild, bro.
The AFC West.
It's been a wild start to the NFL season, and you know,
my bad.
The thing is with the
tuning,
Chiefs, though,
and it's like,
I'm tuning in and out.
I'm gonna say this. Darien knows exactly where I'm going with this. The Bengals are the football version of the Giants, and how they was not supposed to be doing anything this season. Like they were supposed to be like mediocre at best. But this Bengals team plays like they don't care about nothing, dog. They don't care about what you think. They don't care about what you have to say about them. They just all they want to do is come out and hit you in the mouth. Like this is that Bengals team, and really that's what makes them so dangerous is that they just straight up do not care about what nobody says.
And they're practicing.
Honestly, a lot of people were expecting to see how Joe Burrow was going to play this year, coming back from that ACL injury, and this is what makes him more impressive because that was like a major injury he had, and look what he's doing now with Jamar Chase. So that's what makes this Bengals start even more impressive, honestly. And some people did have a lot of expectations for Joe Burrow though, because he was a pretty good QB coming in. When he got drafted, he was actually before his injury, he wasn't really playing too bad for real. And I'm happy he was able to bounce back like this season. And honestly, I'm surprised it's happening this fast though. But hey, him and Jamar Chase though, he makes all the difference because Jamar Chase, he's looking like the offensive rookie of the year because like he just gets that separation. Like Jamar Chase, bro, he doesn't look like a rookie wide receiver. He's looking like a veteran wide receiver. This separation he gets in his route running is just like ridiculous, bro. It's like really impressive. It's impressive seeing it though.
Jamar Chase is having this.
Speaking of Jamar Chase, like what y'all need to know about me is I'm not a hater. I am not a hater. I give credit when credit is due. Like the Bengals absolutely made a pretty good pick when they picked Jamar Chase. Like that man should be offensive rookie of the year. I mean, like Mark said, he don't look like a rookie. He plays like he's already been in the league like 4 or 5 years.
Exactly, bro.
That
decision making, like in his route running, it's like his skill position is like good. Like it's really impressive for his first year. Only 7 games into his NFL career, he's already looking like figuring it out. Figuring out these defenses and he's in the coverage. Hey, LSU product though.
Yeah, and Jamar Chase, because people are saying that they've never seen a rookie season like the season that Jamar Chase is having, and I think they forget that
Justin Jefferson.
Oh, that's where I was going before I got cut off. Justin Jefferson literally had the same season last year, and people are saying, "Oh, this is the best rookie season I've seen since Randy Moss." I'm like, Justin Jefferson exists. You do realize he was a rookie a year ago, but I'm with you, Evan. I mean, as much as the Bengals just purposely try to get Joe Burrow killed, I thought they should have got Penei Sewell.
And the whole kill is that still has time to blow up in their face.
Yeah,
Joe Burrow's starting to do it himself because like he's gonna have a slide.
It does, but I honestly hope it doesn't. And then think about how.
I mean, shoot, I want to be wrong about this.
Think about how bad their offensive line is, and then also look at how good Joe Mixon's doing running behind that offensive line. Imagine if he had Dallas's offensive line, or Vegas's offensive line, or the Colts offensive line. Like, imagine how much better of a season he would be having. We wouldn't be talking about Derrick Henry as being the non-quarterback MVP. Yeah, but that's just my opinion. I don't even think Derrick Henry's even MVP, to be honest.
But if we talking non-quarterbacks that could possibly be in the conversation, Derrick Henry definitely got to be at the top of that list. Because that man is pretty much the main reason why the Titans are first place in the AFC.
Oh, yeah, let them do that.
Literally, the Titans they've been winning.
Another reason you could say is because the AFC South stinks, but also the Colts are coming. The Colts are getting hot. Colts are getting hot.
If it's not Derrick Henry, that boy Jonathan Taylor is on a tear. And it seems like Carson Wentz is starting to come into his own. The receivers are getting healthier. Hopefully they can get T.Y. back soon. The defense, I think the Colts defense is one of the most underrated defenses in the NFL. It's just that they're the Colts, and the Colts really have not. But they started off bad, but they've strung out a couple of good wins and a very good performance against the Ravens, in which they should have won. But I mean, I think if it's not Derrick Henry, it's John Taylor. If you're gonna pick if we're doing non-quarterback MVPs, aren't Derrick Henry. Because Derrick Henry basically goes 150 in his sweep. And here's this damn cat scratching at my door.
And
honestly, since he's a rookie though, I know he's not going to get it. But
for other non-quarterbacks, we got to throw Devontae Adams on there too.
Yeah, but when does a wide
But when the wide receivers win MVP though, that's fair.
But
I mean,
yeah, I was trying to say that's what I'm saying. Like he
don't.
might get it.
Like,
I
they
was going to say
usually don't,
Jamar
but
Chase
to be
if he wasn't
fair,
a rookie.
to be
But
fair,
yeah,
when's the last time a running back won MVP?
That is true.
To be fair.
To be fair.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, right. But yeah, that's what I was trying to say. Like Jamar Chase, if he wasn't a rookie, I feel as though he deserves MVP too. But rookies usually don't get it.
He ain't
That's
gonna
the
get
point I
it
was trying to
because
make.
he's an
But
MVP.
yeah,
That's the thing. He ain't gonna get it because he's an MVP. I mean, because
I mean,
he's
because
a
he's a
rookie.
rookie. Yeah, that's my point.
Got my
Yeah.
words mixed
Like
up.
the only way he'll get it is
Anyway,
if he's
yeah.
like super ultra, like some stuff we've never seen before.
So wide receivers, they definitely don't get it because Megatron definitely
Right.
should have got MVP. And he
Yeah,
literally
for sure.
never got an NFL MVP. So yeah,
And that's a travesty to this day.
yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh. But next subject.
But yeah. So wow, y'all went through the whole non-quarterbacks. Well, let's talk about that. Non-quarterbacks that should win MVP. That's not Derrick Henry. Let's go through it real quick.
Oh snap! Another name. Although defensive players don't ever win MVP, because again, this is an offensive-driven league. Aaron Donald.
Oh,
I had him on my list. I had him and
Gotta put
Miles
Aaron
Garrett.
Donald on that list.
I had him and Miles
TJ
Garrett on my
Watt.
list.
TJ Watt. He can be in that Trey Diggs as well. Like because he's
I
doing
was
pretty
just
good.
I was just about to say, do not sit here and disrespect Trayvon Diggs. They've been
Yeah, I was gonna
disrespecting
get
Dak
to
Prescott
him.
too.
Yeah,
Hi,
Look
Debbie.
who
I know the
pops up.
Cowboys fan
Yeah,
came
sorry.
out.
No,
Hey,
you're
what's up?
good. You're good. You're
I'm
good.
Now
badly.
this isn't the Cowboys fan in me coming out. This is literally every time I hear MVP talk, Dak Prescott's name
I
is
was gonna
never
get to him though. Oh, Dak Prescott. Oh,
but
Dak Prescott. No, we talking about
no,
non-QBs,
I did hear you bring up Trey Diggs, so shout out for that. I appreciate you.
Yeah, we talking about non-QB. Yeah,
I know,
MVPs, but yeah.
I know. Damn cat distracted me, but it's all good.
But
There you go. I'm scratching my door.
yeah, sorry, I'm literally like paying attention to y'all and I'm watching the game at the same time because the Wizards and the Celtics are playing right now, and
So
that's
Sanfa,
just
you saw what I just saw, bro.
yep. I
Y'all
saw
should
the, I
win,
saw the
honestly.
nonsense.
One with Tatum.
Crazy, bro. But yeah, I just like how it's too
The defensive mind, West Beal one-on-one with Tatum.
right. Like that's funny. And then this man tried to flop and didn't get the call.
That's that Lou, the Lou.
That Luke connection. Funny, do y'all want to just hop on the NBA conversation now? Since it just popped up.
Oh no, let's not skip over the Washington football team.
Oh no, let's not.
Yeah, we gotta get into that. Yeah,
we gotta get into that. Yeah, we gotta get into that.
Let's go back to NFL for a minute.
All right. Switch back. Switch gears back. Let's do it.
I'm just saying. I put out a tweet yesterday, and then Evan, you can go because I just want to say this one thing. Obviously, the NFL is hiding something, and I just want somebody to just nuke the whole sports world and just expose the Washington football team. I don't, and I say that because so many people, not just John Gruden, are going to get exposed. And I feel like a lot of the people who are saying, "Oh, well, I think the investigation went quite nicely. I have to hand it to the NFL." Jerry Jones. Yeah,
No surprise.
I feel like he's probably gonna get exposed too. All right, told you I wouldn't be surprised if he used a couple niggers in some of his emails.
Yes,
so
niggers.
I'm dead.
Not for real though. No, I'm just laughing
So
the way you said it.
So who wouldn't really be surprised by that? But I'm just saying, like people like maybe Jerry Jones and Bob Kraft, like those like some of the two big ones, are probably going to get exposed. Maybe even some coaches, GMs, scouts, hell, maybe even players. Like it's just a long list of bullshit that has been going on with that organization, and because there's such a historic organization, like they have a lot of ties to a lot of other, like close ties to a lot of other owners on these big teams. And I think Roger Goodell is just trying to he's taking like a big blanket and just trying to cover it up, or like get a big can of invisible spray and act like it's not there. But Evan, you can go.
All right. So I'm with a lot of other people and how I really and you yourself included, how I want somebody to just nuke the Washington football team, let everything come out. Because it's like, bro, I grew up, like we all grew up basically in the shadow of FedEx Field. Like we know how big the football team is over here. And this man, Dan Snyder, this is reason number one, because Dan Snyder has been giving this city and this area a bad rep for over 20 years, like pretty much our entire lives.
Yeah, literally
And
since
really,
the 90s, bro.
And really, I just feel like we deserve better than that. That's number one. And number two, when we take into account the hundreds, probably thousands of people who have been victimized by this toxic workplace, this toxic culture that Dan Snyder A created and B signed off on, he greenlit. And it hurts my heart to think about all of them, man. And how this is really their biggest chance at getting justice, you know? So there's that. And the fact that the NFL is moving the way they are, that just proves that Washington ain't even the only organization that's like this. So now it's hurting my head and my heart to think about how many more people, how many more cases like this that we don't even know about. Like and the saddest part is we don't know about them, but we know they happened. We just don't know, like we don't know where or who, but we know that we know that it happened. That's what I gotta say.
It's basically like what's making the media, what's breaking out. That's what it is at this point. And like I said, Washington, they've been cursed ever since Dan Snyder bought that team, because the way he bought the team, if you look up the history from, I believe it was a family called the Johnson family, I believe. Yeah, he basically kind of was forced them to sell the team, bro. Yeah, like you can double check that, but yeah, the way he bought the team from the family that owned them, yeah, basically kind of forced them to sell it though. He wanted to take over, being money greedy, and yeah, it's kind of like karma basically. And Washington really hasn't had success since Snyder owned the team, and that's all it is nothing but karma right now for the Washington football team, and that's why I'll never, root for them. I just saying as being a fan of the Eagles, but yeah, I just can't support them because knowing the history behind it, and like Evan said, we're being under the shadows of FedEx Field, and we grew up going to some of these games and just seeing the organization move along and everything, and yeah, it's just sad. All of this is making the media right now. And it took this long to come out, and it's been toxic for this long. So, yep, something has to change.
Yeah, one of the things that I think is just sad that just piggybacking off of what Evan pointed out is we looked at, I remember when the John Gruden thing happened and we had our reaction to it. And the sad thing about it is, again, we said how many more are like this, because this can't be the only one. They said they had 650,000 emails sent to Bruce Allen's account.
Mm-hmm.
And that to me says, you mean to tell me that 1 out of 650,000 is just straight racist and misogynistic, homophobic, and all this stuff?
There ain't no way one person saying all.
Ain't no way, boy.
Ain't no way.
Ain't no way.
Mark, to double check, I just read it up. Snyder bought it from a guy, the previous one named Jack Kent Cook. So it's not the Jackson family, but yeah, it's the Kent Cook family.
Got you. I knew it was a family though, but
the funny thing is, that makes it so funny. This man ended up borrowing a whole shitload of money to do it. That's what's so crazy about it.
It's ridiculous, bro. Yeah, it's janky.
And then I'm looking at it. Yeah, it's just jankiness after janky. I'm literally reading it right now. This man, signed Deion Sanders, and this man retired after one season in fucking Washington, bro. It's I'm just literally
sad, bro. I bet Deion Sanders has a lot to say about Washington. This short time there, bro. I bet you have a lot to say about that.
Well, the thing is, they were saying, I was talking to some of the people that I work with. They're huge Washington fans, OGs. Mm-hmm. And they and he was saying that Daniel Snyder wanted to be like Jerry Jones so bad.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted to do what Jerry did, which is he buys the big name players. He builds this big extravagant stadium and basically tries to build a whole city around the stadium.
Mm-hmm.
He tries to be like this face, and it's like there's a reason why it only works with Jerry Jones, why there's no other owner in sports like Jerry Jones, why the Cowboys are the business that they are. But I just wanted to put that out there because he tried to get not just Dion but a lot of other big name players to come to Washington and get rid of the homers, because Washington is a big, like, we draft and we build y'all up here and y'all become Washington legends here, and not go and grab somebody from Arizona or Jacksonville or something like that.
That's literally how it is across almost every Washington sports team. Because even though Washington is a pretty good market, we don't attract big name free agents. We just don't. Like Washington, historically, in every sports, NFL, NBA, like across all the big four major sports, we don't attract free agents. Yeah, I just seen it. I just seen it.
I'm gonna cut you off, but tell me you saw that.
I seen it, bro. You don't gotta say nothing more. I just seen it. Kyle Kuzma wilding, bro.
No, it wasn't Kuzma. It's what Boston did.
Well, hold on, I might be a little bit behind. What did they do?
Let me know when you see it though.
Okay.
Because I just seen Dennis Schroeder just throw a lob to fucking Al Horford. That's what.
And then the man dropped it and went out.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. That shit was funny. But yeah, we're both watching the game right now. But yeah, I know for sure what we should do. I think next week we can kind of dive into the whole team owners and how the NFL, there's a lot of more teams that's more nasty and more racist and more derogatory.
Especially
that'd be a good one.
That'd probably gonna be out by then, because like there was a story that broke today about like how they looking at the Rams owner for like the way he moved out of St. Louis, because apparently there was like some shadiness going on there.
This news is dropping fast, like flies, bro. Like,
I hope they get Kroenke's ass. Because then if they get Kroenke, he gonna have to sell the Rams and he gonna have to sell Arsenal. And I really want him to sell fucking Arsenal. Tired of that man. I really, really am. I really am.
Why did I know he was going to say that?
And the way he moved out of St. Louis was sketchy. I forget the details, but it was sketchy.
I never knew the story behind that, but damn, bro, this news really is dropping like flies. Like, it's gonna be news by the end of this week, most likely, about Washington. You never know. I hear probably something about Dan Snyder
fading away. Hey, yo.
This man out here hitting middies. You see this?
Bro, this man hit a fadeaway mid shot. What the fuck? Like, and it was a long two. It was like a 20-footer. I was like, Jesus. But
I ain't never ever.
Right. This man busted new moves, just like how Robin Lopez used to do them hook shots. I remember them joints. Them hook shots last season, bro. The deadly skip hook shot, man. That's
got this man acting unusual.
Right, bro. Like crazy. But since we talk about NBA, let's just talk about the overreactions of first week. It's been a lot of crazy stuff happening. There's been rule changes to where I looked it up, and this is the least, like, in terms of starting the NBA season, the least amount of free throws attempted ever. Like, they're not calling nothing. Like, we got people like James Harden who usually gets like 12, 13 free throw attempts. This man got 12 free throw attempts in 4 games.
Damn, NBA turned to the EuroLeague.
And that needs to happen, because you still see it where guys are trying to bait fouls.
Yeah, people still trying to flop and put their feet out. It's crazy.
And as I've said before, James Harden is forced to actually play basketball now. This nigga don't know what to do now.
You got to adjust his game,
because
I think he
half of his points came from off the line.
The hilarious part is how everybody looking at Trae Young.
Right. But Trae Young's not even really
looking at Trae Young like he's supposed to fall off the face of the earth now.
Yeah, and Trae, because I remember when Steve Nash said what Trae Young's doing is not basketball. But at the same time, like, I think we were doing the pod at the time that he had said that.
Yeah, right.
But like my biggest thing is like if you wanted to stop, have them change the rule. Like, I mean, of course, don't be sitting here fucking Madden hit sticking people, but like at the same time, there is a physicality that is to basketball, and you kind of have to let and it's like they're trying to rid the game of that physicality in terms of having more 125 to 130 games. When for real, my favorite era of the NBA was mid 2000s to mid 2010s.
When 98, that type score.
When you had the 105 to 100 score to 100 score.
What we basically grew up on.
And every now and then you had a 140 game.
Hold on, Evan. Let Darien finish this point.
Go ahead.
And I'm just saying where like every now and then you have a 140 to 143 game, like how the Wizards and the Rockets did just a couple years ago, where both teams damn near scored 160.
But the thing is, that season they were both too like in the bottom terms of defense. So right. It's like, yeah. So you expect a game like
because in the NBA it's almost impossible to play good defense.
Mm-hmm.
Almost impossible. But I'm happy that they're kind of like letting off and letting them actually play defense, because defense is really turning into a lost art.
I think what happened was my bad to cut you off. I'm gonna just say something. I'm gonna let you kind of continue. I just want to add to your point. I think the NBA saw what happened in the Olympics this year, and those were some actually really good games. Like honestly, like this year really had some really good games. You know, where it was a nice mix of offense and defense. And when it came down to the line, it was like a battle. It was like a brawl where they were like, okay, we're gonna scratch and claw to get this win. And they saw that they were like, okay, we need to implement some more international type rules. And you're seeing it starting off the season. Like, so they're like, it's not even the free throws. So they're not really calling fouls at all. Like, dudes is getting hacked, dudes is getting pushed, all that, and refs are not calling it. They're not blowing that whistle. So it's just like, I don't want it to get to a point where people are starting to get hurt and, you know, all types of crazy stuff is starting to go on. Like, find a nice, healthy balance. Like Darien said, the most entertaining basketball we had was probably, I'd say, from like, let's say 04 to like 2016. Because during that point, you know, it wasn't all about shooting threes and spacing the floor. Defense had a real presence. Like, you could feel defense. It was even to the point there were players that you know were on the team just to guard and be the person that stopped the offensive player. But now, in the recent years, you know, ever since, you know, Steph Curry changed the game and shooters are allowed to shoot more, and the game has been tailored more to offensive players. So now that they're trying to take it back and be like, hey, yo, we gotta make defense a thing, because these 125, 135 games is like, it's fun and all, but it gets nauseating, and it's like, oh, you're just kind of letting guys get shots.
Too much of one thing can be very bad for you.
Yep, too much of one thing can be bad. You gotta have a healthy balance. Got to.
Yeah, so I mean, I think it'll go back to, I'm not gonna say to what it once was, because as you see, like, people are still just chucking threes like it's nothing, but there's still a more defensive presence to the game, and I think that's a good thing, because again, you need to allow these players to actually play basketball and stop, you know, just trying to hunt fouls. Because literally all they're doing,
the theatrics are annoying sometimes. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah,
they're very, very annoying. But like I said, Brooklyn's been struggling. Bulls is doing very good. Bulls are 4-0.
Yeah, the Bulls are 4-0. Charlotte's 4-0. I think the team that really caught my eye and they're really just balling right now, I'm gonna have to say is the Knicks. The Knicks looking real good. And I don't want to say too much because it's the beginning of the season, but all I'm gonna say is Knicks Lakers finals. Okay, that is my overreaction. Knicks Lakers finals. That's not gonna happen, but because right now the Lakers stink. But
I mean, hey, y'all did get them dubs against Memphis and San Antonio, so y'all starting to kind of form it together.
oh yeah, and I give it until I'm not saying nothing about the Lakers because I'm giving it until after the All-Star break.
Right.
Once the All-Star break is over, then we can talk.
Yeah.
But
honestly, that's when we really start to see the teams are going to be like, playoff worthy.
But for now, until and I would say wait till the All-Star break because we have so many new players.
Right.
You really get to see like most teams. You really get to see who they are around Christmas. Around mid-November towards Christmas is when you really start to see who teams really are.
And then once the New Year starts, you kind of get to get a feel for the standings. Like basically by the All-Star break, we kind of know who's gonna be on top of the conference.
Yeah, like we got full 82 games back, man.
Like, you know, like basically once the All-Star break come, it's really just a battle of like the lower seeds, to be honest, because you know who's gonna be 1 through 4. 1 through 4.
I mean, we've seen it turn around though.
Like we've seen it turn around.
I agree with Mark.
No, we've seen it turn around, but I'm saying when I mean feel, I mean like okay, we know what's gonna be the top 6 teams.
I feel
the order doesn't matter. The order doesn't really matter. You know.
You know.
But if we still talking overreactions, we lost the trade. We traded Russell Westbrook for Kyle Kuzma.
Bruh, this guy.
We traded Russell Westbrook for Kyle Kuzma.
Bruh, this guy.
Look, I don't want to have me dead until we play out in
Evan, you had me dead when you went on fucking Snapchat and started doing your fucking acting, bro.
I thought we was different, Sanfa. I thought this team was different.
Fine.
But we 2-1 when we could have been 3-0.
This nigga's stupid.
Scott Brooks 2.0, man. I'm done with this team. I'm sick of y'all.
That's really how Wizards fans be, though, especially on Twitter, bro. That's really
how on everything, bro. Anytime
they lose one game and they start like
start losing it, bro. Like,
honestly, I was doing that when the Sixers lost to the Knicks because I was kind of teed during that game. But I had to get my early overreaction out. Game 5, it's the Knicks. It hurts, but Knicks fans are funny though. They're like, "Hey, we finally beat the Sixers." I was like, "Congrats!" You would have thought the Knicks won the finals, bro. But yeah. I had to get my reaction too.
I know this is gonna be a hot take. This is gonna be a very hot take, and I'm probably gonna regret this. But I think the Knicks might make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, man.
Ooh.
No.
Oh, that's
depending on the matchups. Depending on the matchups. Man.
No.
I just wanted to say one hot take just to say a hot take.
The Knicks want to pay a pass to the second round. I can say make it to the second round.
Yeah,
that's fair enough to say. The second round, I can say make it.
I'm really mad that Trae Young kept us from seeing Joel Embiid in Madison Square Garden during the playoffs. I really wanted to see Joel Embiid in Madison Square Garden.
That would have been hilarious. I'm not.
That would have been better than Trae.
That would be perfect.
Yeah, that would have been
better than that is all Joel Embiid could have ever asked for.
For sure. But like I said, I already know for sure there's gonna be an East team that goes far that we're not seeing. I'm not saying it's the Knicks.
Chicago.
I just want to say the Knicks to be stupid. But it's gonna be East team, just like how Atlanta was last season. They went to the Eastern Conference Finals.
What about the Bulls?
And nobody did that. Nobody thought so. Hey, Bulls.
Gonna be the Wizards or the Bulls.
I can see the Bulls being that sneaky good team.
One of us too.
The reason why I'm gonna say no on the Wizards is simply this. Yes, we're a deeper team. We're good at every position, but we don't have the team is not perfect around the field. Let me just say that. It's a lot of mashing. It's a lot of adjusting. Like for us to go far in the playoffs, a lot has to go in our favor.
Y'all need another guy. Like y'all need.
Yeah, we need a second guy.
Another like that guy. Yeah. Besides Bradley Beal.
Like besides Bradley, we need a legit second.
These teams are so deep these days with like I'm gonna say super teams, but all-star driven teams these days. Y'all need like another big all-star like
That's
Beal.
The thing. Like
every elite team has at least like 2 big all-stars. The
reason why Atlanta worked so well was because they've built the team perfectly around Trae Young. Even though there's no second star. Yeah, no. Of course, Milwaukee didn't win the chip. I'm not even talking about that. They're definitely a contender for sure. We're talking about like
and Chris Middleton did his thing too, though. Like he definitely helped out. Yeah,
like the Bucks have been a title contender for a few years now. Just the fact they needed to go through hardship and learn.
Just had to figure it out with the Bucks.
And figure it out. Yeah, they just had to figure it. And that Drew
Holiday
Holiday
the
trade
Bucks.
was
perfect. It just worked out perfectly. They just really had to had a good playoff run. Like I can't really script it. They just play good basketball. Like yeah, that's what the Bucks won.
Like we said during when it happened, we said if the Bucks beat the Brooklyn Nets, they're going to the finals. We literally said it because that's the series that truly tested them. That's the series that put them against the wall, and them overcoming that, they was definitely going to the finals, and most likely going to win. But like I said, the Wizards, like I said, we need a second star. We need a second guy that's not Beal, and I just don't know where that's going to come from. I don't see us doing another trade, but I do see us being definitely a solid team for sure, and building upon that. Building upon that. Yeah, we kind of we're keeping up with the with the Celtics, but yeah, this season's gonna be good, man. Even though we got people losing their mind off the first week, it's gonna be a good season.
It's funny though, it's good, entertaining. It's entertaining. That's why people do it. Sports is happy that NBA's happy he's back. NBA's back.
I'm sorry, but overreactions and you're not even 5 games in is the most annoying thing that can never happen. It actually makes me very mad. It's like if y'all don't
oh my god!
I'm like if you don't shut up, you got 82 games left. You got less. You got like 70 games left. Get a grip.
Even more than 70 games, man. You already know. But yeah, it's like we just live in a society where people just have it's all about what you've done recently. People don't have patience. It's just like literally, bro. Like people are flipping out over preseason games. Preseason, bro.
The Lakers went 0-4 in the preseason, and people.
I wouldn't even known that.
Actually, no. I remember the Cowboys went 0-4, and people was like, "Oh yeah, this team sucks." So it is what it is.
It is what it is, man. Y'all ready to combat that NBA top 75 list?
Oh yeah, let's get to that
let's get to that, bro.
That's gonna be fun.
Might as well get to that.
Let's get it. Let's go. So all right. So which list should I pull up? The one that's ranked, so we could kind of be like, this and that, or do you guys want to go about the one that's unranked?
It don't matter.
I'm looking at the unranked one right now. It doesn't matter to me though. Yeah.
I'm just gonna do ranked because that's just more of the fun one, and we're gonna start from the bottom instead of the top. Because the top is kind of like let's start all the way from the bottom. Let's see what this joint looking like. Let me load this joint up. All right. Okay. Ooh. Okay. All right. All right. We about to have fun. This is about to be great. I'm looking forward to this. This is about to be awesome. All right. All right. So number 75. Hold up. Did Lenny Wilkens make the list?
Are you talking about Dominique or Lenny Wilkens?
No, Lenny Wilkens. Yeah, he did. Lenny Wilkens, I think he made the list. Because this one they ranked it. It took the time to rank it, which is crazy. Wait, hold on. Oh no. This is not the official list. Because T-Mac is on this list. Hold on, let me get off this one. They put so this is the okay. So this is a more objective list. Okay,
whoa,
so that one we can go to later. Yep. No, it's fine. So I'm just gonna go off of the unranked, the unranked one, and we're just gonna read the names. So they put in they were Lenny Wilkens didn't make this. I was sure, but this is how it is unranked, and we're gonna probably put it in rank, like try our best. So at the end, number 76 is James Worthy, 75 Dominique Wilkins. That is extremely low. 74 Lenny Wilkins, 73 Russell Westbrook. Mind you, this is not in the order. So people don't lose your mind. It just listed. This is the names: Jerry West, Bill Walton, Dwayne Wade, Wes Unseld, Lee Thurman, Zeke, Isaiah Thomas, not the short Isaiah Thomas, Zeke. John Stockton, Bill Sherman, Dolph Shays, Bill Russell, Dennis Rodman, David Robinson, Oscar Robertson, Willis Reed, Scottie Pippen, Paul Pierce, Bob Pettit, Gary Payton, Chris Paul, Robert Parrish, Shaq, Team Largeron, Dirk Nowitzki, Steve Nash, Earl Monroe, Reggie Miller, George Mikan, Kevin McHale, Bob McAdoo, Pete Maravich, Moses Malone, Karl Malone, Jerry Lucas, Dame, Kawhi, J. Kidd, MJ, Sam Jones, Magic, LeBron, AI, Elvin Shays, Hondo, John Havlicek, James Harden, Howard Greer, George Gervin, Kevin Garnett, Walt Frazier, Patrick Ewing, Dr. J, KD, Timmy D, Clyde DeGlide, Dave DeBishier, AD, Steph, Billy Cunningham, Dave Cowens, Bob Cousy, Wilt, Kobe, Larry Bird, Dave Bing, Elgin Baylor, Rick Barry, Charles Barkley, Paul Alls. Wait, what? Paul Horizon? Is that how you say his name? I don't want to be disrespectful. But Nate Archibald, Melo, Giannis, Ray Allen, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Jabbar.
I know I said there's some names that's missing. I didn't see Dwight. I didn't see T-Mac. I didn't see Kyrie. I didn't see Bernard King. I didn't see Alex English. And I didn't see Vince.
Vince Carter should be on there for sure.
So here's my question for y'all. What would be how would you make a top 75 list? Like, what would be your criteria? What would you take into account?
Well, number one, the accolades. All-star teams, all NBA teams, scoring, scoring, blocks, rebound, assist, titles,
MVPs,
MVPs, championships, all of that stuff, and also their impact on the game. Because of course, not everyone can win a scoring title, not everyone can win MVP, not everyone wins a championship. So you kind of got to take the impact that they had on the game. So that's why there's, I mean, I can mention, like, all right, here my thing about this list and why I don't really want to get too upset about it, because I see a lot of names that come from my father and my grandfather's time, and I've never seen some, like Paul Horizon. He's from the 60s. I never watched him. I never even heard of his name. Nate Archibald. I never really watched him. I heard of how good of a player he was. The Bob Cousy's, the Oscar Robertsons, the Wilt Chamberlains, Dave DeBashir, Lenny Wilkins, all of those guys. I never really got, even Alex English. I never really got to, I never got to watch those guys. However, YouTube exists. So for a lot of the younger folks that look at these names, they've never heard of them, they say get them out of here. I say, how about you go do your research before you say something?
Right.
With all that being said, there is absolutely, with the criteria that I see, I'm different from a lot from y'all. No reason why Bernard King's not in it. No reason why Dwight Howard's not in it, and no reason why Kyrie Irving isn't in it. I mean, I don't like not seeing T-Mac or BC, but if you got Dwayne Wade, Kobe, and MJ, and all of these other, we got a bunch of shooting guards, I understand, because they did play at the same time as prime Kobe and prime D Wade. They did win championships and scoring titles and won gold medals and and made an abundance of all-star teams. So with that, I feel a certain kind of way about it, but I'm not upset about it.
Right.
I don't get why Bernard King's not on there.
Yeah, he was the king of New York.
I don't get why Bernard King's not on there. I don't get why you put Anthony Davis there, but you don't put Dwight Howard.
Yeah, that threw me off. I was like,
all right, so
what?
I feel like,
Dwight Howard's a lot of accolades.
I don't know why
he
you
really does.
I feel like Dwight Howard, Tracy McGrady, and
he cut out.
Oh no.
Oh man. Oh man.
Zebra Kang was about to have a point too. I know.
I felt it. But yeah, no, I'm not really mad about the T-Mac events. The only reason I'm kind of pissed about the events is because impact. He literally is the player that put Toronto on the map. He put a whole franchise on the map. That deserves something.
He did.
That literally deserves something. He helped to set the culture for Toronto. So I think that matters for something. Like you said, impact. I'm very big on accolades, of course, as well. But like, if you even if only accolade, the fact that Dwight Howard's on the list, he's an 8-time All-Star, 3-time Defensive Player of the Year. Like
they made it to the finals, with doing all that. He led that Magic team. He actually led that team to the
the
finals
Dwight
that year.
Howard is the reason
did.
we never got a LeBron versus Kobe finals.
Yeah, people don't.
He
forget
literally
that. Dwight
ruined
Howard.
that. Like they were
credit.
pushing for that so hard. The NBA was making commercials about it in the playoffs. I remember these commercials. They were literally making commercials pushing Kobe versus LeBron in the finals, and Dwight Howard messed that up.
And the thing is, we want to talk. You want to talk about dominant big men.
Mm-hmm.
There was not a. Say what you want about Giannis. Say what you want about Giannis. Okay. There has not been a more dominant. Dwight Howard is the most prime. Dwight Howard is the most dominant big man that we've ever seen since Shaq. Like true big man.
Why do you think? Why do you think they're arguing over the Superman title?
And
it wasn't a center that wasn't better than Dwight. Honestly, during this time, it wasn't really a center that was really more dominant than Dwight in the league during the late 2000s.
The thing is, like Shaq is a hater when it comes to when it comes to Dwight Howard. But I want to look at Dwight Howard and I want to look at Kyrie and I want to look at Kyrie because I feel like they're getting punished for who they are off the court. Mm-hmm. I think Dwight Howard, in terms of what his personality was, he was before his time. So if Dwight Howard was doing what he was doing back then and acting the way he was acting back then, he's doing that now. I think the media and
definitely a fire game too.
What happened? But
that really might be the Aspire game.
Wait, what?
What in the world is this man talking about?
I am dead.
Bro, I'm sorry. I had to mute this man, bro. I don't know what the heck he was talking about.
But shit, I forgot where I was now.
You was talking about Dwight Howard.
Oh yeah,
Dwight Howard.
So if Dwight Howard was now the way he was then, if we got prime Dwight Howard now, I think we would appreciate him more.
Yeah, for sure.
Because we would appreciate not just who he is on the court, but we would appreciate the goofiness and kind of like the, hey, why so serious about everything mentality?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we kind of praise that now. And then with Kyrie, like just with a lot of the stuff that the stances that he's taken off the court, I think he's being punished for that.
Yeah, it's politics. It's politics for sure, y'all. Politics for sure. 100%.
So, and then another snub. Klay Thompson should be on there. Should be on there too.
You know what's so funny? You know what's so hilarious, bro? He's literally just missed the list. Like
he have 77, I think.
Yeah.
The Warriors trolled him with that too.
The Warriors trolled him and said, "Hey, you're the 77th best player." Like he literally just missed it. But I think he should be on there too. Because Klay Thompson is one of the best shooters we've ever seen. One of the like when you talk about heat check, blowtorch,
he's one of the Splash Brothers. Like
heat check, blowtorch, like bro.
Nobody was stopping the Splash Brothers.
Klay is one of the top, he, in my opinion, he's a top 5 player when it comes to when he gets hot. Ain't nobody stopping him. This man scored 40 in the quarter.
Klay is the only reason. Klay is the reason why Kevin Durant left Oklahoma City. If it wasn't for Game 6, Klay, he probably would. I'm not gonna say he would still be in OKC, but he would have stayed longer. They wouldn't have had to blow. They wouldn't have had to blow that up when they did.
Like Klay is one of he's definitely a top 75 player for sure. He's a winner. He's a champion. He makes winning plays. He's also a two-way player. That's a multiple-time All-Star, multiple-time defensive. I'm pretty sure he's made a few defensive teams. Right? I think he's a 3-time defensive all-time player. So yeah, like Klay Thompson should definitely be on the list. But yeah, it's like it's hard to come up with a consensus 75 top players all time because you have so many different generations of. Hold up, y'all. This man Reem just texted me. I think he's about to get on. But yeah, you have so many different generations of NBA players. Like you have our generation, then you have our parents' generation, then you have our grandparents' generation that were around in the 50s and 60s, and they're talking about, players that we never got the chance to see. I think what would be better if people like Darien said, do your research, be a true student of the game, see how they play, but then compare it to new players and still kind of balance it out. Like I feel like when you make a players list like this, you have to kind of appease to all the players that's ever played in the history. You can't kind of be like, oh yeah, we're not putting 70s players. There's only 80 players up. You can't do that because there have been some legendary, wonderful players that's come before our time. So it's kind of like the NBA put themselves in a hard spot even coming out with this list in the first place. Because there was gonna be people that'll say, oh, why didn't this person make it? Because it all depends on how they watch the NBA and the time they watch the NBA. Like Darren said, a lot of the younger kids, they're like, who the hell is Dave the Bichier? Who is Paul Arizin? I know who Paul Arizin is. I just never know how to say his last name. Who the hell is Lenny Wilkins? Who is that? Who is this old fart? But do your research. Love the players, and like I said, I agree on the Bernard. The Bernard King, I was surprised. Like if you put Earl Monroe on there, you got to put Bernard King. Like, come on now. like they played on the same team. And like, come on. And then they put Willis Reed. NBA is funny, bro. But y'all got anything else about that before we hop into the non-sports part of the pod?
Nope.
Go Arsenal.
So, we're going to talk about Walle's new album that he just dropped. For Lauren, too. What is y'all opinion on it? And do y'all think that this is his best project in years?
I want to say, well, yeah, I want to say it's his best project in years. But overall, it was a pretty solid project overall. I liked it, especially that one song in particular he had called Tiffany Nikes. It was like a really like a good, yeah, it's like a really good upbeat song and everything. Really like caters towards the DMV culture. He really did his thing on there. And he had a lot of to me it was like a classic Wale album. He had a lot of his a lot of good features on there. Featured with Rick Ross. He had that J. Cole feature was pretty good called Poke It Out. I like the album overall, and to me, I think it was his best project he dropped since I say Ambition. So yeah, to me, it is one of his best projects he dropped in a while because I have really been listening to Wale over the past really decade in general though, since his Ambition during that phase when he dropped that album. But Wale, he's definitely really back on and like really back on a really wave, the map with that album to me. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, and see, I can't really speak on is this his best work in years, cause I not really until this past year, like maybe like the last few months, have I really been getting into albums because I really just focus on like the individual songs and like what songs do I like. So, I mean, I'll definitely say I love this. I love the album. My favorite song actually was the one that he did with T.O.B. That was
Oh, the little go-go joint, I think.
Yeah, I think it was
Yeah,
called,
that was my favorite too, man.
I think it was called Jumping. So, I mean, I think it's pretty solid. I mean, I'm kind of not the person to really be giving a huge album review. However, I think for the DMV, this album like is great, and I think people just need to take notice. What's going on here, music wise.
Yeah,
I
because
think,
Wale, he's really put on for the DMV like a
yeah,
lot with the
yeah, and
music, like through music.
we're definitely gonna dive into that after this review. But I think as a actual like very intense Wale fan, like Wale is in my top five. Like I don't care what people say, he's in my top five personal favorites. So for me, I think this is his best project in a few years because Wale's kind of been through a slump. Like you can tell he's kind of been
He has.
dealing with a lot of personal problems, some depression, some mental anxiety. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm happy to see that he's come out with a project where for the first time in years he feels like he's in a good place. Like it feels like he's not trying to do too much. Ooh, Bradley Beal, oh my goodness. Jesus. But My bad. This man, he got two
They-
people. You saw that too,
playing?
Evan.
I'm watching the Cavs game right now. I'm flipping back and forth, but hey, is
wow.
Gafford okay?
Yeah, no, Gafford, he might get injured. They carried him off the court. He might be injured.
Oh shit.
Oh my god.
Yeah. We got a lot of inactive players going on now. We can't lose him, man. That's our interior defense right there.
It's like we got depth at the big, but damn, man.
Yeah, right.
Y'all
right.
can overreact on that.
Yeah, but I'm not
Now
even
this ain't no
gonna react to that.
overreaction. We don't even know how long he's gonna be out.
But you know,
especially if you got to get carried off.
Yeah, they literally carried him off, literally. So, but back to the Walleye thing. So I think this project is glad, and he put on for the DMV, man, like he always does. Like Walleye is one of the few artists that's from this area that always puts the DMV on. Like he doesn't switch up. He's never switched up, even though he's been a bit difficult sometimes. Hard to deal with, hard to reason with. But that's just Walleye. He's always been a special character. He always puts on for the region, and it's a sad that not enough people appreciate that, because we just simply don't have enough people that do that. Like a lot of people, from the DMV, they get popping, they get famous, they go out to like LA, go out to Atlanta, go out to Houston, Texas,
and then they just forget about it.
And then they don't even rep the region really no more.
They don't. We don't even know they were from there unless they say something.
They just straight up forget about the DMV.
It's so crazy. And pretty soon later, we're gonna talk about it when everybody gets on about why is the DMV the region where we have talent, man. Like we're one of the most talented regions, and that's overall. We're talking sports, music, everything. We have so much
especially
talent.
with the music. Yeah,
but it's just like it just seems to be like everyone is in competition with each other. They don't want to help each other. We got these gatekeepers that want to keep things the way they are and don't want to let the young ones shine. And people are so territorial. It's so crazy, man.
It's like very prideful, territorial, especially that. It's like stupid, honestly, especially when it comes in the DMV. It's just like we really could be working with each other. Instead, you guys just want to like do this local beef just to sound cool, get street cred. I'm like, bro, it's so dumb, honestly. Like instead of just, I don't know, I don't get it. It's not getting us nowhere though, and that's why I really don't understand like why the DMV. That's why more artists really should be taking off from the DMV for real. But like you said, it's like a territorial, like prideful thing.
I think.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful! You came back with a lovely time. I was just about to hit you up and be like, "Hey, yo, we in the other half of the pod." Yeah, I was literally just about to.
Yeah, no, because you guys were talking about like the NBA and stuff, and I was like, okay, yeah, this is what I know. Right. No, but seriously, as far as the DMV, a lot of people, as you know, like run into Atlanta, and so like, because I feel like people don't see like a lot of potential in Maryland and stuff like that, and then the people that are here, like Mark said, that kind of looks like, okay, we're having beef with like people that don't even know your name. If I'm being honest, like, how you gonna have beef with yourself? I don't know. I just feel like there's so much work that needs to be done for the DMV, but like everybody's running away from it because they feel like nothing's happening here. But then everybody wants to claim DC once we have Mochella and stuff.
You're not lying. And that joke be blowing me. I'm just like, man, you can't have your cake and eat it at the same time.
Right.
I saw a tweet.
Seriously, she makes a good point. When it's Mochella, everybody want to claim DC.
Everybody want to say, "Hey, man, I'm from Baton Rouge, 49."
And also, like, look, when Walleye popping, everybody want to be from DC. In the event that the football team is good, everybody want to be from DC, and we saw it. We saw it in 2012. Everybody want to be from DC.
Mo, everybody was slurping RG3.
If the Wizards and the Wizards are looking good right now. If they keep this going, come April, guess what? Everybody gonna say they from DC again.
Now everybody got like fucking Wizards fans.
People only want to rep DC when it's something good going on, like when we up, and it's like. And I'm noticing another mindset of people where they feel like you cannot succeed in the DMV. Like if you stay here,
but that's
your career is
not
like they feel like your career is not going to grow unless. unless you move to like LA, Atlanta, or New York, and those are the
But
only
that's not
three
true
places.
because what was Washington without before Bill Gates? What was Chicago before Kanye and before Oprah? I mean, like, let's be real here. Like, you can have all these things. It just takes one person. I was literally having a conversation with this guy, and he lives in DC, and he's from the DMV area, but he was like, everybody's running away, going to Atlanta, thinking they're going to chase something that probably won't even happen to them. Your work ethic doesn't leave you. I mean, your work ethic doesn't change when you're in a different environment. It's however you decide to, chase your thing. While there are some things that you can get in other states, don't run away from the home state. You still rep the state that you came from, because at the end of the day, that's the people that are really going to be pushing you, be like, yeah, she's from here or he's from there. You know what I'm saying? Like, your state is really going to be the ones to like really back you up once you become successful. Not Atlanta, not New York, and definitely not LA. I'm just being 100% real. Taraji P. Henson, did she go to like, she went to Morgan.
She went to Howard.
She went to Howard.
Howard.
Yep.
Oh.
Sanfa, please tell me you just saw what Bill did.
I did.
No, Taraji went to Howard. Like, all these
Are
people
you
that really.
Sorry, yo.
We sorry to cut you off. We sorry.
No, you're good.
Damn,
What I'm saying is that all these people that really are from here, and it's like, when was the last time they came back? The Braxtons, they're all from Baltimore. And one thing about the Braxtons, they will say they're from Baltimore till tomorrow. Even one of the sisters still live in Baltimore. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I just feel like your community that you grew up in will always support you. And like, I feel like a lot of people forget that, and they try to run away because maybe they don't see the opportunity. And while, yes, you're not going to get a different result in the same environment, that doesn't mean run away from the place that you're in. If that makes sense. Maybe that means moving to another apartment. Maybe that means moving out of your parents' house, whatever the case may be. Not necessarily moving from state to state. Unless like an opportunity does present itself for you, chasing an opportunity that may not happen is different from like, okay, this is the opportunity that we have, come to our state.
And I feel like my bad there, and I was gonna let you go, but let me just say this real quick, then I'm gonna let you go. But I feel like the big problem with the DMV and just our region in general, we just don't support each other. It's very irritating. Like, we literally would rather support other people that's not from our region, that don't care about our community, that they're not even invested in what's going on. They're just there just to get money, than help a brother out that y'all came from the same places, y'all went to the same school, y'all grew up together, y'all have similar stories, similar backgrounds. But no, because you feel like this is not good enough. I'm like, man, listen, we're stronger together than divided. And the sad thing that's gonna happen with the DMV is it's actually already happening. People are just leaving and they're creating opportunities everywhere else, but they're not bringing back the resources, the ability, the great things that they got back to the DMV. And you see what's happening in the city. DC is gentrifying more than ever. The prices are going up. Things is getting more and more expensive, and people are leaving the city more and leaking more into PG County, Maryland. So it's just like, and wasn't and PG itself is gentrifying anyway too. So it's like, what's gonna happen? Like, I was listening to a video, and this is just about a real estate because I'm trying to dive deep into real estate. I'm trying to become a cash buyer and everything because I know there's real money in that. And they were talking about how the middle class is shrinking, and I'm like, you know what? You have a point because everything's getting more expensive, and people are not making enough money. It's even why now a lot of places people are just quitting and walking out because they're like, listen, man, you treating me like shit. You're not paying me enough. I think I saw an ad. It was for was it Walmart or Target? It was like one of the big stores, and it was talk about how we're so store handed on staff. We need people. I'm like, because y'all don't treat people like human beings. Y'all treat people like robots. But that's not a DMV point. But yeah, I think the biggest problem, we have too many gatekeepers. We have too many people that are here, and they want things done their way, and they don't want to help anybody else. They want everyone to kind of tend to them. I'm just like, man, listen. In life, there's always gonna be someone that's probably better than you. There's always gonna be someone that knows more than you, that's richer than you, have more resources than you. No point of you being greedy and trying to hold on to your spot.
Yeah, I was looking for a tweet that what is it that literally like went exactly with what Debbie was saying, but I think here it is. It says,
Beautiful.
why do niggas in the DMV have to give a soliloquy about hateration and the lack of support before they say before they say they're moving from the DMV like every other month? Like, okay, maybe just move. Hold your lips, pause the tweeting, just move or something, do anything. Just no more speeches, please.
A lot of people in the DMV, they talk a lot of talk, but they don't want to walk the walk. There's a lot of cappers. A lot of cappers. And that shit is very irritating.
Yeah, but and then the other thing about moving out of the DMV is, although god damn, he scorched it again. I'm sorry. I'm watching baseball. Y'all watching basketball. I'm watching the baseball. I'm watching the World Series.
We tune into the sports.
But my thing about moving away from the DMV is just like in Atlanta, and I mean, there are probably more in Atlanta and New York and LA. There are a lot of resources here. There are a lot of opportunities here. You just gotta do the work to find them. Like they're not gonna just come to you. You know, like you have to like make a plan and figure out what you're going to do. If that makes any sense.
No, you got
you can't just say, oh, there's nothing for me here, I'm going to move to Atlanta, when you really didn't try here.
Right. People don't want to try, man. They just look at like, and then what makes it worse, right? You're not the only one moving to Atlanta. You're not the only one moving to New York. You're not the only one moving to LA. There's a lot of people moving to these places. Like, you're gonna be in competition with a lot of people.
And the thing is, if you don't have connections down there, it's going to be a struggle. You're going to struggle hard. Because I know, okay, this is one guy. I don't know, I'm not going to say his name, but he's pretty popular here. And he went to LA and he's doing great because he made his connections while he was here. You know what I'm saying? He was going back and forth. He was talking to the right people, all that good stuff. But then there's some other people who've moved and come back and been like, I can't, there's nothing for me there. It's not that there's nothing for you. What work were you putting in to make sure that when you moved there, everything was solidified? And even still, it's like it's really hit or miss because the next person can get your job the next day only because they're available that next day.
Mm-hmm.
Very true. And it's like, that's so important. People don't want to build connections anymore. Everyone wants everything handed them so platter, like Darien said. And it's just like, you can't expect that, man. It's a cutthroat world. It's competition, baby. Especially in like this space, even in this podcast space. I have people hitting me up trying to want me to be mentors for them because they see that I'm taking the necessary steps and I'm making and building the connections and I'm growing the pod the natural way. I'm doing it the proper way. I don't need people to suck me off or anything. No, I'm doing it. And us guys here, Darian, Mark, and Evan, we are growing a natural people supporting us. And now people looking, they're like, oh, those guys are 3-on-1. They doing their thing. Let me tap in with them. Let me tune in with them.
You don't know what's funny with you mentioning that? I want to say it was about, I think I told you and Mark this story in detail. I'm not going to say the person's name, but I'm going to say what happened. It was about a couple months ago. I want to say like in August. And I was talking to somebody and I think something happened and she was like, all you care about is this, that, your podcast, and da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, yeah. The fuck you mean all I care about is my, yeah. Like, pause, but this is our baby and we're helping to raise it. We're helping to grow this shit. What, you think I'm going to put the podcast on hold to deal with your dumb ass?
No.
Like, come on, bro. Like,
it's funny how you've been. I was literally just talking to Debbie literally before we got on, and I said, yo, this podcast comes before anything if it's not life or death. If it's not life or death, if it's not family, if it's not my parents in the back over here falling on the ground, nothing matters. I will do the pod before everything else because we are creating our own lane. Because we're not doing this for attention or clout or a lot of these things that people try to search for on social media. We're doing this 'cause we love this shit, man. This is our outlet. We get to talk our shit. We get to be entertaining, and we get to also slightly inform and show people that in the DMV you have people that have the right mindset, the
And mind their
proper
own as
mindset.
well.
Right, exactly. Like, no, like literally, we had a guest come on here, and he said, "What we're doing is amazing. We keep it up because we're doing something that a lot of people will not have the balls to do, or won't do it the right way. They'll be chasing clout, do it for a few weeks, and end it. We're doing this 44 weeks, y'all. In 8 weeks, it's about to be a year.
Whole year, man.
If we
Time
weren't
flies.
serious about this, if we weren't ready to invest in this and do what we can, would have gave up a while ago.
I think a lot of people.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. Because I think he wanted to repeat. I think you wanted to repeat what Sanford to repeat himself, right?
No. I was gonna say another thing. Like it took us, like this is something that although we've been doing this for a year, we've been thinking about doing this shit for probably about another year. So
yeah,
Yeah,
literally,
Yep. Talking about this like the summer before, honestly. Yeah.
and just thinking about how we're gonna do it, you know.
And the funny thing, how it started, it was just one day. I said, "I'm ready." Literally,
Yeah.
I hit you up. I said, "Yeah, let's do it."
So have like
No,
a
and
little meetings
honestly-
and everything like that. Yep.
And honestly, that's how it's supposed to be. Because like a lot of people say, I will do it. My former trainer was like that. Hence former. He was like, I will, I said, like, what are you gonna put pictures on Instagram? I'm gonna do it. Because I do business coaching as well as my regular brand. And so I'm like, okay, when are you gonna start promoting yourself? I'm gonna do it. When you start putting videos up, I'm gonna do it. And I was like, all right. Then we got into like a whole debacle, which I told you about Sanfa, and then that ended. So so what I did was I was like, okay, let me show you how it's done. So I came up with my fake training thing, Big D's booty camp, and you were there, and you were there with the other girls, and then more people started coming, and it became like a really big thing, and it only stopped because like I wasn't serious about it because I was trying to prove to people like, look, if I really wanted this to work, I can make it work. I was going every single day to the gym. It started off with one person, then you hit me up, and the next person hit me up, and then everybody was just hitting me up. And it's all about like, what are you showing? How people saw my consistency in the gym, people saw my weight loss, people saw all that. Now, granted, I haven't gone to the gym that much, I put on a little bit more weight, but people were seeing that and they were like, wow, I'll be like Debbie. And that's what a lot of people, like you said, Sanfa, when people see that you're consistent with a lot of stuff that you're doing with your podcast and your, daily devotions and all that, we're going to be like, okay, there's something that you have to offer. And what a lot of people, like you kind of said, what a lot of people don't know is the journey that it gets to that point. Because you said it's been a year. I've been doing entrepreneurship since I was 8. Doing it since I was 8. I was serious when I was 16. I mean, like when I was 8, I was like selling candy and I was doing all that kind of stuff.
Oh, of course, you were selling candy. I remember.
Right, kids. And then when I was 16, I was like, oh my God, I'm going to build a brand. So I started like in middle school. I was like, well, now I wasn't 16 in middle school, but I remember in middle school, I was like writing stuff down, coming up with my logo, all that kind of stuff. While people was like doing English and stuff, I was doing that. And then come to high school, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be different. But I don't know how to do it. I didn't have no mentor, no nobody. And then 16, I told myself I was gonna be a business owner. I knew I was gonna be a business owner. I'm 25. So it takes a long time, and a lot of people don't realize the work. And I feel like that's why a lot of people quit, because, and not just with business, with anything they do, a lot of people quit because they don't see the results right away. And that's why I keep telling people, just keep on, put stuff up there, all that kind of stuff. You're gonna get one person to notice you, and that one person can change your entire look, do a whole 180 on your brand just by that one person promoting you, or that one person. And like, even if your friends don't be promoting you, there's gonna be a stranger that's gonna be like, oh my God, I want this. So yeah, I spent more money than I made at a point,
Hey.
but it was all worth it in the end. Like, people know me. When people talk to me, they don't talk to me just like any other place, and they're like, oh, there's that CEO, there's that boss, all that kind of stuff, because that's what I've established myself as. And it took years upon years of me to do it. So yeah,
a lot of struggle too. A lot of struggle. But I know exactly.
No,
I
it was
know
bad.
it's
Like, I was
yeah.
literally I would be crying like, Sanfa, I don't know what to do. But nah, that's why you don't give up. Because if I had given up,
Right.
I'd just be a regular 9 to 5 bitch, and I'm not doing that.
Exactly. And it's just with me. And like I said, it's funny how me and Darien had this conversation. And Darien's gonna know what I'm talking about. When we went to B Dubs that day to catch, it was the Ravens versus the who the
Chiefs.
hell?
Chiefs.
Chiefs. Yeah. Chiefs. That's when we had that big comeback in the fourth quarter. I remember.
Yeah.
Bro, me and Darien were not even paying attention in the game. We were having this type of conversation that it went so deep it didn't make sense. I can't even recall half what we said.
We were deep in conversation that we forgot that we didn't get our food
until literally the fourth quarter.
Mo.
That was funny.
That was a freaking night.
That was a night, man.
That waitress really wanted her tip too.
But I should have got her number, bro. She was giving me the eye. I was like, if I see her again, I'm gonna get it.
No, I wasn't falling for it.
Listen, I just would have did it just to see what happened. But yeah, because she was being super friendly. I was like, damn, what's going on here, bro? And mind you, we walked in and we saw her, and she walked right past us. Literally, walked right past us. And it didn't. And I think she helped us out because she saw that we were sitting. We were sitting there for a minute. Like, we didn't order food until the second quarter, like halftime, right? Yeah, it was like halftime, literally halftime. And then we didn't get our food till basically near the end of the fourth quarter. Like, it was like what 2-3 minutes to go.
Yeah, and then thank God it went into overtime.
Yeah, that gym was crazy.
But I mean, I guess just to piggyback, and I'm pretty sure Debbie has said it, but it's so easy when you're on that journey to just say, "Fuck it, I don't want to do this. No, I want to do it no more." And it just goes with just like, and kind of just going back. I'm jumping around, a little bit, but just to like get started on stuff like how we did with this, like how she did with her business, how you've been doing your daily devotionals and everything else. You just say, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna do it." I started playing baseball. I said, "Fuck it, I just want to play baseball." Like I see baseball. I want to play baseball. It seems fun. Fuck it, I'm just gonna do it. And the thing is, like, for me, like, it took me. I started playing baseball freshman year of high school. It took me maybe 2 years to really get the courage to say, what the hell are you doing? Who are you throwing the ball to? Anyways, it took me maybe 3 years to get the courage to say, I don't want to play basketball anymore. I want to play baseball. But when I played baseball, and even when I play it now, when I swing a bat now, when I'm playing catch now, I feel more joy playing baseball than I did playing baseball for the little amount of time that I did than I have for over 10 years of playing basketball. So it's just like, find what you love and just do. And it's cliche, but just do it.
Like, I don't even think it's cliche, man. I think it's just like, see, a lot of people, they do things, they go through life and do things they don't like doing, like things they hate. And we all got to do it, especially, man. I can't even tell you how many jobs I've had that I hated. But it's like,
man, I hate my job now.
Oh yeah, we talked about this. But while you're doing something, just to stay, because you gotta pay bills, you gotta eat, you gotta have money to survive. when you're doing that, start working on your passion, building it. This
Oh my God,
podcast idea,
yes.
like you
Yes.
said, it literally, I remember it was the summer of 2020. We were literally on group FaceTime, or even when we're meeting each other, because me, you, and Mark met a lot that summer. We would have the same conversations that we're having now. It's just the
Yeah.
fact now we literally just decided to record it. And like we were kind of pushing and pushing, like, how we gonna start this? How we gonna do this? I remember it was Thanksgiving. I was literally sitting in my room. I was thinking. I was deep in thought. I think I had some wine. I don't remember the wine I had. I just had some wine. I was just thinking, and I hopped on Anchor, and I was like, you know what? I'm ready to do this. Let's do this. I literally, and that's when I made the whole 40-minute video of me just rambling. I don't even remember what I was talking about. I was halfway drunk. I was just talking about life, and I sent it to them. I was like, listen, man, let's do it. And even with the whole daily devotion, that's something that I've been doing for years before I ever decided to post it. I like once I was doing that before COVID. I was doing that in 2019. I used to literally just make the little small posters and post it. I never used to make like in videos me going in depth talking about. That was something I just this year, January hit, I just had the spark for it. And also I think that made me want to do it was I couldn't stand the church I was at. I'm happy I left. I ended up leaving, thank goodness. But I couldn't stand it because I felt like I was like contained and stuffed in a box, and I had all this energy and all this to give. And I was like, you know what? Let me put this energy somewhere where it could be very, very productive. Now, not only do I do daily devotionals, I have a Bible study group. I never thought that would happen. And what was so funny, my Bible study partner, I met her off the weirdest thing. I just happened to go on her live one day, and she was doing a Bible study of her own, and I enjoyed it. I DM'd her and I said, "Hey yo, check my page out. Let's collab." And that's literally how now I have another Bible study point. I got two more that's potentially going to join. Like that's crazy. It's just like just keep at it. Consistency works.
Yeah.
People love when they see someone posting the same thing and consider like, okay, this guy's serious about it. Just like how
Yeah.
Debbie said, and it's just great. Just keep at it because the results will come. They definitely will come. You just have to keep at it and stay the distance, man.
And there's one thing I want to actually say, real quick. This girl, I was watching her because I've seen her grow from when we was in school together to now. She has like her own. She dropped out of school and she's making more money than than when she was while she was in school. So, kids, school's not for everybody. But nah. So no, but seriously, she said if it doesn't work the first time, change the plan, not the goal. Because clearly the plan isn't working if you keep doing the same thing over and over again. But don't change the goal. The goal is to become a CEO. Be that. Change. Keep at it, but change the way you're doing it. If the goal is to become a radio host or to be whatever, a baseball player, whatever the case may be, keep at it. Maybe the way that you're doing it is wrong, but don't change that goal because the minute you change the goal, you're gonna mess up everything.
Always keep the vision.
And also a lot of people when when you're striving towards that goal, they're going to try and take you off of it. And it's like especially if you're doing something that a lot of people would deem like impossible or unreachable, they're going to speak so much fear into your plans and into your goals to like try and scare you out of being whatever you want to be. And it's kind of just like you kind of just got to say fuck off and just go on and do your own thing.
It's crazy.
Because
sorry, I'm just reflecting. Like this is literally what I said in my Diamond Dollar Tip of the Week when I used to do them earlier this year. And it's like you were literally saying the same thing. But go ahead, Darien. I didn't mean to cut you off.
It's all good because like a lot of people and the fucked up thing about it is a lot of the people that speak those fear into your plans are the ones that are closest to you. The ones that kind of just say all this shit and low key want to see you fail are the ones that are closest to you. Like some of and I've had to learn this the hard way. Some of the closest people to you can be your biggest haters.
Yes.
Like
oh my God.
Like I can go in depth. I can go in depth about it. Just like not things that people have like said to me directly, but just shit that I've peeped. Like as I look back on things, I can just say that like not only did they would speak fear into my plans, like they low key had some sense of enjoyment when I was just not happy. Like when I was like if I was having a problem here or having a problem there, or if I was just having a bad day, or if something didn't go the way that it was planned, I could kind of tell that people were kind of just like, okay, yeah, so this guy's still fucked up. Cool.
Darien, don't you hate when I don't know if you finished your thought. I'm gonna let you finish if you didn't.
Oh no, I
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, but don't you like? Have you noticed like some people when they're like when they hear bad news, they'll be the first ones to be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." You know what I'm saying? But the minute something good happens to you, you don't hear from them at all.
yeah. I've kind of peeped. It sucks, man. It really does.
I know what you mean because okay, so two scenarios. So the first one is one of my friends from back when we were kids. When I told him about the situation I was dealing with back in 2018, Sanfa, you kind of know about this, or you know a lot about this actually.
Oh, okay. I know.
I was in a depressive state. I'm still dealing with depression here and there, but then yeah. So but I mean, I'm in a better place and all that kind of stuff. And when he was hearing about that, he was like, "Oh my God, I wish I was there." This, that, and the third. And then when he saw the 180 that I did in my life, he was like, "Oh, we're not in the same place. You know, things are happening differently for you than they are for me." And I'm like,
Just switch up.
I'm like, all right, cool. So like, I'm like, all right, bet. So you've been a hater. And the thing is, I will call you out. I'm like, oh, so you've been a hater. You've been weird. So that's what it is. Let's be weirdos. But another situation was when I was in college. As she hears this. At this point, we haven't been as close as before. But I did have a friend who was she wasn't like I wouldn't say she wasn't as smart as me, but yeah. So I was helping her a lot, and we started talking about graduation, and it was like and her thing was I was like, "Oh my God, I'm about to graduate soon. I wish I had graduated earlier." And she said, "No, you should take your time." I'm like, "What? Like, what? You gotta, like, what do you mean? Like, these loans ain't going to pay itself. I gotta pay these loans back." Hopefully Uncle Joe does his job, but whatever. No, but seriously, I'm like, what are you talking about? Take my time. Like, I'm not about to be here because you're about to be here too. You know what I'm saying? And then, anyways, so long story short, I graduated 2 years ago and she's still in her junior year. She's been in her junior year for the past 4 years.
Wow.
So, yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of people want to hold you back because they can't do it themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's not that they can't do, they just choose not to do it. And because it didn't work out for them, they want to make sure that we're on the same level. One thing my mom always tells me, if you look at your hand and you put your fingers together, no two fingers are the same. Everybody has their own journey. Something could happen for somebody today that may not happen for you tomorrow. So like, I mean, and then something happens for you tomorrow. So don't like being a hater. And I hope this speaks to somebody who watches this, whoever, like being a hater is not going to lead you nowhere because everybody has a day in court. Everybody has their day. So yeah, it's just kind of stupid. Like that's why I always applaud anybody who is doing anything better than me. I'm like, okay, instead of me looking at it like, why is it not happening for me? What are they doing to make sure that it's happening for them? And then how can I implement that tactic in my life? Collab and don't compete. Because if you collab, you get a lot better than competing with each other. Because, yeah.
Yeah, and it's crazy because I saw a tweet that said that like when you really hate on somebody and you low key like start wishing bad for them, it really just manifests all the good things to come into their life because you're speaking so much negativity on to them, which is really just your negativity. If that makes any sense.
Oh no, that's perfect sense. And I feel like people don't understand two things, right? The mind is very powerful. I say this all the time. The mind is very powerful because how your life will be, how you dictate your life, and how your life will be is depending on how you think. Because how you think is how far you're willing to go. When you want something so bad, and you see the vision, you literally see that this is a thing that's going to change your life forever. This is a thing that's going to put you in position to be wealthy, to be successful, to be in a position where you could do what you want. You don't got to be controlled by no one. You got to answer to the man. You got to answer to nobody. You answer to yourself. A lot of people around you, they're going to see that vision too, and they know that they can't reach it. So they're going to try and bring you down and keep you down to the level because people like to keep company.
I want to say that I don't think it's that they can't reach it. They just choose not to do the work to reach it.
That's another thing. I was just about to say that.
I don't think the thing is, I don't think they're ready to put the work in, and I also don't think that. I think they thought their first try was going to be the only try.
Right. They thought it was going to be easy.
Exactly, and it's not. Like if you really listen to a lot of people's stories, they're only seeing what has manifested from years of work.
They're not seeing the hard work and the process that took to get to that point. It's never easy. Anything in life you want is never easy.
It's not. Like I know I'm gonna make it, but I'm gonna have to put in the work to make it. I know that we're all gonna make it on this podcast, but we got to put the work in. I can't be upset because the person A is doing way better than me. How much work have they been putting? What did they sacrifice to get to? What fun did they leave? They decide, you know what, I'm not gonna do this today because I gotta work on my stuff to get to their point. Go ahead, Darren. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say I kind of blame, and I don't want to make it a point on this podcast to like blame social media for everything.
Hot take.
I'm not gonna be that guy. And trust me, I don't blame social media for a lot of shit, but I do blame social media for this like instant gratification that everyone seems to want to have. Because on social media, you always see like the people who are early mid-20s and they're making X amount of money and they're living on their own and they're taking these extravagant trips and they drive the nice cars and wearing the nice clothes and they're in these beautiful what seems to be beautiful relationships and they're just doing all of this shit at such a young age. And everybody, they see it and they're like, I want that. However, like you said, like they don't understand that these people work their asses off and they sacrifice so much and they went into a place where they are absolutely just uncomfortable. Because in order to succeed, you got to put yourself in uncomfortable situations. Not all the time will you succeed and you're just in your comfort zone. You got to get out of that. Just something that I'm trying to learn and trying to do myself. So it's just like a lot of these people see like all the money that these people are making. Like they see someone like LaMelo Ball who's 19, 20 years old and he's already a millionaire. And they're like, well, I'm such and such age and I'm still doing blah, 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 blah. Well, who's to say that in 2 years you'll be, who's to say in 2 years you'll be 23, nigga, you can sit here and be making 80, 90K a year. You just got to put in the work to do it.
Yeah, success doesn't happen overnight. People fail to realize that. It takes patience. People like think it came easy for a lot of people. Oh, they're living a sweet life. Oh, they're doing this. But you realize these people had to go through a lot of shit just to get what they have. They had to go through a lot of hardship. So it takes patience. Is whether you want to like persevere or not.
And also
about perseverance.
Sorry. I need to stop doing that.
You're good.
Oh, no,
you're good.
No, I was gonna say, and also that you're talking about somebody whose family has been in the NBA for how long? So I mean, let's be real. Like,
it's not even.
Kylie Jenner's kids are gonna have a lot because her mom has a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just
yeah.
You can't expect to have the same result from somebody who already had it before you did. I'm just saying.
And not even just the hard work. We live in a society where people just don't want to accept that sometimes you're going to get the short end of the stick. There's going to be times where you're not going to have much. You're going to be grasping at the straws. You're barely going to be surviving. You're going to be head deep in the trenches. But I always say people's real character come out when you hit rock bottom, when you are
Oh,
in a corner, when
fuck
you
yeah.
have nowhere to go, you have to claw and scratch at. That's when you see real people's character, man. You see
Man.
that if they really, really, really want it, they want not only the American dream, but the dream of being successful to the point you start your own family, you help your peoples retire smoothly. Like every child wants, we want our parents to retire. We don't want our parents working until they're 65, 70. No, that's not the life. You want your parents to retire. You want to make sure your family's good. You want to make sure you're good. You want to be in a place where you can literally do whatever the fuck you want to do. You don't have to hold back for nobody. You have the ability, you have the assets, you have the resources to literally you think of an idea, you think of a concept, you can execute it. That's what we all want. And when you really, really want it, when it gets really, really hard and it gets difficult and nobody's supporting you, and you maybe have that one friend that's maybe in your corner, everyone else is coming at you, trying to keep you down, and you have no choice but to stay the course and stay the steady waters and go forward. That's when you really see what true people are made of. You see the people that want it, people that don't want it. And a lot of people in this society, they don't want it. They want an easy, quick feel, like you guys said, the instant gratification. They want it to happen off the first or maybe the second time and realize they don't realize you're going to fall on your ass probably 50, 60, 70 times. And to really want success, you have to find a way to get up every time you fall down because it's not about falling down because life's going to knock on your ass. It happens. Life is going to suck. Life is going to throw obstacles your way. It's about overcoming the obstacles and staying the course and trusting the process that you can get there. You just have to keep pushing. You can't give up. Don't give up on your dreams. Don't give up on your dreams no matter what happens. Of course, adapt to every situation and do make sensible decisions. Like, don't be the type of person where you go broke and you have absolutely nothing. You're trying to chase your dream and you're not able to stay above water. Do what you got to do, but like Debbie said, always don't change the plan. Sorry, don't change the vision. You can change the plan and adapt and learn from the people that success because everybody has their own story of how they made it, of how they probably failed 50 times or something, had to change 50 times to finally find that one way to make it. Because we all got a different path in life. No one's path is the same. What might be good for me now might not be good for you for another 2, 3 years. You got to go through 2, 3 years of suffering, sadness, struggle, sorrow, but it's all going to be worth it. Believe me. And I'm not even someone that's made it yet. I'm still working on myself. I'm still trying to adjust certain things. I make try tweaks to things every day and look at things and say, okay, I could do this a little differently. And what I'm working on now is to kind of think more of like, okay, these people are successful. How did they do it? Like I still asking people a question like, what did you do when things got crazy? What did you do when you felt like you was about to give up? Because we all have the moment we're about to fall, we're about to give up, we're about to say, "Fuck this shit, it's hard." But when you reach that next gear and reach that next drive, that's when you truly, truly reach the next level. But I don't want to drag too long about that. We've been having a beautiful conversation about it, but I do want to wrap up very, very smoothly. We got two more topics we gotta get to. So recently there's been a big uproar on social media about college and these historically bad black college universities charging so much for room and board that they don't even have good housing. Like, I think here, how would you? A girl found mold under her bed, like beside her bed or something like that. Like I was looking at earlier. Some people finding roaches, some people finding rats, and all types of crazy stuff, man. And they charging you thousands upon thousands of dollars per semester, and they want you to live in that shit, man. Crazy. So I want to hear y'all opinion on that.
Yeah, it's kind of sad.
Go ahead,
And I know,
Mark.
I think Debbie, you should go last because you went to Morgan
No.
State, so I know you got some experiences.
Yeah, I do. So luckily for me, I didn't go to what's it called? The housing I had wasn't on campus, so
Okay.
as you know, I transferred from PG. So I went to like an apartment, and then I went to another apartment. But it was all like part of Morgan State housing.
Mhm.
I will say this: the sizing and the housing it didn't make sense because like you're paying a lot of money for like a room that doesn't make like it's tiny, like a cage, pretty much. But I did know that like in like the on-campus housing, they did have a lot of rats and stuff, but they did take care of that. Now, the issue that Morgan had when my second semester there was that there was overpopulation and people were literally couch surfing. People were homeless. People did not have homes to go back to, and they
I
had to go
remember
to
that.
school. Yeah,
Remember
and it's still happening till this day. And it's like they had to like rent out or do hotel rooms for a minute. And I'm like, dang, like y'all couldn't say, okay, we don't have housing, don't pay for housing. People were putting deposits down for housing and they didn't know where to stay. Like people were not coming back to school for like 2-3 weeks. People were literally going from place to place. And it's like, wow. And so I understand the whole thing with Howard because it did happen at Morgan. And now to the point where it's like really bad, I don't know because I left Morgan 2 years ago, like I said, and then my housing wasn't terrible. It just like there was certain things that I wish they'd done better. They did improve their security, because of me. So they did improve their security a lot. But when it comes down to like the space and then the overpopulation, I felt like that wasn't fair, especially to the incoming students, because that's how my cousin doesn't go to school anymore because that was a big issue for him, and they really messed up his like whole housing and everything. And I'm like, well, dang, like y'all were supposed to, you know what I'm saying? Y'all were supposed to make sure that that was good. Now they are building housing, but that's for like 2023. We're in 2021. So what are you going to do for those 2 years for students that you keep accepting in because you don't have enough funding, but don't have a place for them to stay? And these are out of state students. Where are they going to go? They don't have parents that are living here. They don't have families that live here.
Yeah, they don't have family here, so what are they gonna do?
So right, so that's like one of those things, and then you're also overpricing them. You're paying $4,000 a semester for a room that looks like a prison cell. So, I mean, yeah, I just feel like it's not fair. The structure could be a lot better, but here we are. So.
Yeah, I was kind of gonna say the same thing you said. I was gonna bring up Morgan because I have a friend that goes over there, and I wish she was she was here because Deja would go the fuck off about the damn housing at Morgan.
Oh, definitely tell her she could hop on, but I'm down.
I think she's doing something now. It's kind of last minute. So
No. I mean like anytime. I mean
she. But
just tell her to hit my phone. Just tell her to hit my phone. I got
it. But I'm gonna see her soon anyway. So I'll ask her next time I see her. But it was like basically everything that Debbie just said, and the fact that like their apartments and housing is smack in the middle of the hood, and there's always something going on every day.
Literally.
To like almost to the point where like I kind of get worried like whenever like she's out at night, because like I remember like her first year going, they were riding up there then, and I think my mom was saying that they literally saw someone get shot. So
that's beyond housing. But yeah, I want to say the same thing because like I went to Bowie State and everything, and the Bowie State is ironic. Debbie said that because Bowie State went through a similar situation as far as like overpopulating with the housing. It's like we're paying all of this money, and really at Bowie State, the only really good quality housing to me is the CMRC.
Yeah, I was just about to say CMRC. That's the only good one.
I love that.
Everyone else is trash, to be honest with you.
Yeah, because like honestly, my freshman year, I was like, more like the freshman dorms is like looks like a damn prison cell or whatever. Especially
Bro, I'll never forget when we went to Mark's fucking tour for one time. Yeah, we were about to go out to one of the lounges and lounge in DC, and we went to this man's. But when I said it was small. That was
Yeah,
small.
bro. It's sad. Mind you, the joints have roaches sometimes. You know, like
Right.
I think it was Haley in particular. Yeah, the
Haley.
sophomore dorm at the time. It joint had like roaches sometimes. It'll be like be in the rooms. You actually see them joints. I'm just like, you're paying all this money for like this trash quality with the janitors barely cleaning up stuff. So yeah, and then like you said, the overpopulation to the point where like people at Bowie State had to live off campus, like at UMD. I stayed at some apartment complex over there. You had to live over pretty much like commute from UMD from just to get to Bowie State. Yeah, the concave. Yup. So I was at the concave one time. I knew somebody that lived over there. Yeah, that was some weird times. But yeah, yup. So Bowie State, they went through the same thing, and I can understand what Howard's going through. It's like you're paying all this money for like, and you're getting this bad quality, and like they're getting riots and all that in houses. But I'm not even surprised. But I'm not surprised because like you were like really in the city, and like in Howard. So yeah, it's sad. And like these colleges, HBCUs, you know, more money needs to be funded into like with the living conditions because living on campus is convenient for a lot of students, and you want that for universities and especially HBCUs for like, you know, to get the culture growing, like build education. So kids can like have, you know, access to like all the resources they need and get to their classes while living under good conditions. Shouldn't be like a camp or anything like that. It should be like a, you know, good quality university, which you're there
Or
for.
feel like you living at a concentration camp.
And
like they gotta get together.
And I think like to go to Howard, I think Howard's one of the more expensive HBCUs where you're paying like 50, 60 grand to go there. And the housing is shit. You're in the middle of the city. And not to mention with all this stuff that's going on, it's
very congested.
Yeah, it's very congested, and it's not like it's not like Bowie or Morgan where the majority of your students are from the area, so they could always just
right. Howard has a lot of students coming from out of state.
Because again, it's one of the premier HBCUs, so you have a lot of people coming from cross country, down south, up north, all over the world to come to HU. And so you're paying $60,000, you're in shit housing. There are a lot of people who aren't in the housing, and the temperature is dropping. Mm-hmm. Let's add that. And people are basically living in tents. And they're out here for homecoming booking Ray Shrimmerd and all these other acts.
And Lil Durk.
Yeah.
I guess they got money for that.
Right, like when Lil Durk ain't cheap, bro.
when literally right across campus, like there are people protesting, living in tents.
Like Lil Durk, I think he charges over like $25K per show, bro. Like I may be close. I know I'm close, but it's not cheap, bro. Like Lil Durk
my thing is, especially like dealing with like HBCUs and stuff, they don't put their funding in the right places. Mm-hmm. They'll do another building for like maybe offices and stuff. That's cool. Yes, you want to have a nice work environment. But think about the students first, because the students make the school a school. Exactly. Without the students, there is no school. So if you have like Morgan State's on the way, I think it was Morgan State really in 18 years could close down because of the way things are. And so if we don't put the funding in the right places, that's gonna be the issue with a lot of HBCUs. They already want to see us fail. You understand? So we have to push harder. We have to work like 3 times harder because number 1, we're Black. 2, we're a mostly Black populated school. Mm-hmm. And then number 3, we're Black in America. So we really have to work hard. And then it's like, they're not even caring about their students. When I was at school, the security was trash. I went through a lot at Morgan, okay, a lot. And they were watching me when this was happening. And I'm like, well, okay, I guess my life don't matter that much. Like, damn, like I'm sitting here looking at them like, really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sadly, you went when the security was really
there's so much
trash.
that they really could improve on. I'm sorry, what did you say?
No, I said, yeah, when you went up there, security was really just good. I had another friend that was up there, and he used to tell me that shit all the time.
It's like, I have so many stories about security. Like, my friends, how are you going to have a whole five-some with some students while people are getting robbed and stuff on campus?
Shaking my head, man. But yeah, HBCUs, they need proper funding. They need to put the money in the right places. They need
I
to.
thought it was just
So
a bill just signed to help fund Maryland HBCUs. I
There
thought it was a
was.
bill just
it
signed.
was
There
just
was.
that's
Yeah.
recent,
We won the lawsuit, but then again, it comes down to where are you putting the money?
right?
Yeah, it's like it's not really. I don't see it working out that much, honestly. I don't know. Like, they only
And you
hope for the
gotta put
best,
the
though.
proper people in place that's gonna put the money in the right places,
Right.
which is the students, the
Saying signing the
student
bill
living
don't mean nothing, bro.
conditions, right?
Yeah, for real. Like
That's
signing
only
shit
the
don't mean
begin. That's
nothing.
only one step. Really, the other step
Yeah.
is implementing and having the right people in place, putting the money in the right places. So we gotta keep praying for these HBCUs because if we don't do that, man, if they don't get their shape together, we're gonna start seeing them dwindle down, man. We're gonna start seeing them close down, and that's not gonna be good because, like David said, we're black. We already have limited opportunities as it is, and these HBCUs give a lot of these young black adults, a chance at a secondary education, where they may not have had a chance otherwise because they already tried to fuck us over in school. Don't even get me started on the fucking PG County school system. Don't get me started on that. We'll be here all night. We'll be here all motherfucking night. That shit was trash. But let's finish it off with the last topic, love language. And I brought this one up just to kind of throw a curveball because we kind of really been in our relationship bags of late. So what I'm gonna ask is, how important is it to learn your partner's love language? And the other one is not only how is it important to learn, but how is it important to adapt to it.
It's very important. I think the problem that a lot of people get into is number one, like there are things that people want in relationships that people just don't want to give. Like I forget what the four love languages are. I'll look them up
Oh,
later.
it's more than four. It's like it's I think it's like six, something like that. But I know there's the one. There's the
It's physical touch,
physical
affirmation,
touch,
acts of
affirmation,
service.
act of service, and the gift. Something with gift, right?
I
Yeah,
think that I think that's acts of service.
I'm gonna look it.
Quality
I'm gonna
time,
pull it up.
quality time,
Qualities.
quality time.
I'm gonna pull them up just to because I don't want to be on the podcast and not know. I'm just
But
gonna pull it up. But yeah, you
but
probably
it
right.
but it's just like if someone says, I like when people give me gifts. Like I like gift giving is big for me. It doesn't have to be something big. I'm speaking from like as an example. I don't really care about gifts, but someone says gift giving is big for me. You know the hell, but and then you say, oh well, I'm not doing that. That's a fucking red flag. But and it's important because if you because like certain because I got off topic I'm a little bit, but it
You
it's
good? You good?
it's important, but because this is like a person actually telling you what makes them feel loved in a relationship, and it is up to you to do the best that you can do to provide that to them. If they like affirmations, then which is basically reassurance,
Mm-hmm.
then give them that then give them that reassurance. If they like acts of service, which is basically like giving them gifts, like
No, I
paying
think
like
I think I hold the acts of services. The acts of service is more just like buying them like their favorite like lunch, making them feel good. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like buying lunch, paying paying
Yeah,
for
yeah,
their
yeah. But it's
nails and
not really
hair.
gifts. It's kind of like accessories, like showing them, hey, listen, I care about you. I care about what you're into. Like acts of service would be like, okay, say like me and my girl were talking, and she knows I'm a very, very big fan of the Washington Wizards, and she buys me a jersey from the team. Like it's not even as a gift, just to be like, it's something I've been looking to get, and she saw I've been trying to get. She's like, okay, I'm gonna get it for him. That's more like acts of service. Like gift is, what we see on social media when people doing these over exuberant acts of gift giving. Like they're doing too much. Like that's active get receiving gifts, which I think receiving gifts is the most dangerous one. And the reason why I say that because you can get gifts from really anybody, a friend, family member, or anything. So when I hear that, when I kind of get, I'm mind you, I'm weird. I get a red flag, and so that's why I kind of wanted to have this conversation, just to kind of dive deep into a little bit. Kind of get a red
Yeah,
flag, like, okay, are you really going to be loving me for me or what I give to you? Like
yeah,
that is yeah.
like, are you saying like it's almost like I get where you're coming from, and I kind of see it like a lot of people just want to know that like you listen and you're paying attention and you're thinking about them.
Mm-hmm.
So say like if you're with a girl and she always talks about how she likes Lilo and Stitch, and you're out and you see something that has to do with Lilo and Stitch and you get it and you say, "Oh, I thought of you. I got you this."
Mm-hmm.
That's basically it.
Mm-hmm.
But but again, I'll just go back to I'm saying it's important because this is people telling you this is how I like to be. This is how I want to be loved.
Right.
This is what will make me feel like you care about me, like you actually like not only are you saying that you love me, but you're actually showing it. These are the actions that you are providing to this is the actions that you're providing to prove what you're saying. And I think to adapt to it is number one, like understand that this person probably wasn't raised the same way you were raised. Understand that this person that you're dating now is not the person that you dated before. So you may have dated somebody who likes quality time, and then you're dealing with someone who likes their space. And so you have to adapt to that and understand that. Oh, good pass, Kipser. But but understand that it's not that they don't want to be around you. They just like their personal space. They like their me time. And that's kind of dangerous too, because they could be doing anything behind your back. But it just takes time. That it is at the end of the day, that's just what it comes down to. Like you got to take time to like learn your partner, to adjust to your partner, to move in a way that makes your partner feel loved and feel seen and all this other stuff. My bad if I rambled on a little too
Oh
much.
no, perfect, man, because you hit a lot of it on the head. And you said a lot of truth that needs to be said. Like I would say this: when you're serious about someone, I was giving someone advice. I was like, when someone is serious about you, like serious romantically interested in you, they'd be down to have the conversation of like, okay, what's your love language like, this and that. All that conversation needs to be had because when you're trying to build a relationship, you're trying to build a bond, you're trying to create something beautiful, create something substantial, and you need to know how your partner receives love. You can't be saying, "Oh no, I'm not doing that." Mind you, like I said, I told you about the giving. I never said I wouldn't do it. I'm just gonna ask some more questions about more details about the gift giving. I try to get as much details and information as possible so I know what to do, in the coming steps. So it's just like have the conversation, learn their love language, learn their pros, learn their cons, and be willing to make if you really, really love the person like you say you do, really like them, you're not lusting over them or liking them for something that's not true and genuine. Then you'll make the adaptations and adjustments, but also both sides have to be willing to make a sacrifice, willing to make a compromise. That's the only way it's gonna work because a lot of people end up in these one-sided relationships where it's like, okay, only one person is willing to, do what it takes to make it work, and the other person's kind of like, oh no, if it's not my way, it's the highway, and we need to stop that mindset because, like you said, Darren, in life, you're gonna meet people that grew up different than you, that come from different walks of life than you, that have a different mentality than you. So there's gonna be times when you're both not gonna agree on a lot of things. You're both gonna clash. You're both gonna need to make the necessary compromises to meet halfway. It's very, very important to have an open mindset when you're trying to, be in a relationship with someone. Do not have a closed mindset because when you have a closed mindset, it's like your relationship is a taking time bomb. It's not gonna work. It's just gonna be something that's just gonna be there, and it's going to go into something toxic. And we all know a bit too much about toxic relationships on this call.
I don't want to talk about it.
Wait, that's what I'm saying. I'm not diving that direction.
But it's a and just one more point that I'm gonna say is that I think people also don't know their own love language. They also don't really know. They just don't know it themselves,
Right.
and they expect another person to just figure it out.
And the thing with that, if you don't know, then be willing to experiment. Be willing to try things out. Get a feel for things. Because for a long time, I didn't know my love language. I'll be honest with you. I just recently learned it. I have two. I just recently
Same.
learned my two because I'm very big on physical touch and quality time. That's me. Those are the two I'm very, very big on. Like, yeah, affirmation is good. Receive. I'm not even really a big gift person because I don't. I'm just not used to receiving gifts. Like I buy you some. Of course, if I see something like and I have the money and I can afford it and I'll be good, I'll buy it for you. Like, I'm a giving person, but that's not gonna be my first go to. Very big on physical touch. Very big on quality time because it's just like that's just in my opinion what helps to truly build the bond. Spending time together, building a natural chemistry, getting to know each other on a deeper level, and just learning how to touch, like learning their spots and everything else is very important to me because I like to please my partner. So it's just like, yeah, and I didn't learn that till 2 years ago. So this is something I recently learned. It's not. It took me years upon years to figure it out. So, love language is something that it's not going to come to you instantly. Some people will know theirs off the rip, but some people they'll be kind of like, I kind of like this and I kind of a little bit of that. We want to experience. Have an open mindset. We want to try some things, and if it doesn't work for you, that's perfectly fine. Find what works and stick to it. So, if anybody else has anything to say it now. You have the floor.
No, I'm good.
Because yeah, sadly, Reem will not be able to join us because he had a game today, and I knew
It's
he
a little
wouldn't.
late.
I know. I told
Anyway,
him that
spoiled.
I told him if you have a game on Wednesday, we might be able to do Wednesday, but he said next week is the last one. So I'm like, okay, I just booked him for 2 weeks. It just makes that easier. But yeah, everybody, we are rounding things up for the week. But as another promo, final promo tomorrow, October 28th, 2021. We are hosting the first ever roundtable discussion. And when I mean roundtable discussion, we're only going to have, you see how we usually have a lot of topics and we kind of have a wide range of areas we go for the roundtable. It's just one topic we go in depth in for about an hour, hour and a half. Hosting the first one tomorrow at 7 p.m. And it's a loaded show, y'all. It's going to be great. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the debate, the discussion, the points people can bring. It's going to be awesome. Looking forward to it. And I really hope and pray that you all check it out because this is an idea I've had for a very long time. It's gonna be something that's gonna be happening every month. Next month will be accountability, basically accountability for actions on the male and the female side. So that's gonna be a really good one. In December, I'm trying to think if I'm either going to do an anime TV show one or a one about the DMV in total. Like we literally just talk in depth about the DMV, the culture, everything. So I'm still kind of trying to debate that, but definitely check it out. It's gonna be tomorrow. I know there's no way you're gonna be able to join, but I really hope that everyone takes to listen to it, enjoys it, because I noticed that everyone likes the bonus stuff we do, like the extra stuff. Because when we did the gold medal reaction, first thing that jump was funny. that was a funny night. That was a very hilarious night, and I enjoyed that very deeply. Even though me, I was drunk halfway through. So, but yeah, that was a good one.
That was a cool. That was one of my favorite ones too. Not
Yeah,
gonna lie. I
that
love
was
the
my
unserious shit. It's like
like
everybody was on that joint. I think Jazzy was on that joint. Travis joined that joint, bro. We had
fucking
everybody.
Ronnie pulled up last minute.
Ronnie, last minute, bro.
Bro, didn't
It was
Jazzy
lit, bro.
hop on talking about scamming niggas?
Yeah, but no, it wasn't her.
think
It was the
was
family member that
somebody.
was with her because she was smoking with her friend, with her
Oh
cousin
yeah,
or something.
Her cousin, yeah.
Oh yeah, that was her sister.
That was the sister. Sorry, sister. I was sister. Yeah, it was the sister that brought that up. It was hilarious, bro.
Yeah,
That
it
joint
was
was pure
cool, bro.
pandemonium. That was the cool
Like we need
vibe.
to have more stuff like that sometimes, from time to time, bro.
Oh no, yeah, for sure, man. We
And-
could definitely
yup.
have a once a month where we just have something unserious, like we just reacting.
Mhm.
That'd be great. But
Bro, we should go
definitely,
for one of these football games.
yeah, that'd be cool.
Oh, for sure.
Or
Talk
even,
about unseriousness at a football game.
or even an NBA game, bro. It don't matter to me. It's up to y'all. I'm down for whatever. But yeah, so I know y'all probably not gonna be able to join, but definitely take a listen to it. It's gonna be great. Like I said, men's mental health is very, very important. I take it very seriously. It's gonna be a great talk, and it's not only gonna be that one, man. We're gonna have probably different parts of the men's health discussion. So look out for it. So, and again, always appreciate the love, the support. We almost at the year, y'all. I'm so pumped. I'm so ready for the next stage and the next chapter of the podcast because there's so much more to come, so much more ideas to implement, so much more things to do, man. So, y'all got anything before we close out for the week?
Shout out to Meg the Stallion for just graduating from Texas
Hey, that was
Christian.
great. Yeah, shout out to her. That was awesome. Yeah.
I'm gonna give a good shout out to her. And how about them Cowboys?
So I did tell this girl I was going to shout out because she's trying to make her podcast on. Let me look at my messages. I'm trying to make sure I get the name. Okay. She said it's called It's Okay. Okay. So shout out to the It's Okay podcast. You know, it's a girl that I ended up linking up with. Really enough, she saw my stuff on Facebook because I post the episodes on Facebook too. I have there's a Facebook group for the joint. You guys can check it out. It's 31 Outlet Podcast. Just go search it up. So she hit me up and was like, "Yeah, I'm trying to start a pod. I need advice. You know, I don't know what to do. I'm nervous." And I'm just like, "Listen, man, just do what feels natural to you. Find a way." I told her to take notes because I always take notes all the time. Literally, I will always take notes because sometimes I can ramble on and just keep talking forever, and I don't want to do that. We already been in this joint for almost 2 hours, so I'm trying to kind of cut it down
Yeah,
because
it's been almost
like
3 hours for real.
it's good that we're getting better at cutting the time because remember that the first few episodes were long as shit.
But like
Joe
3 hours.
Rogan.
Yeah.
Bro, we were pumping out 3 hour episodes. It was crazy. But like I said, shout out to this girl, shout out to her. And I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I'm looking forward to this. This is gonna be fun. So you guys stay blessed. You guys stay beautiful. You lovely, you gorgeous people. Thank you for giving us support. Thank you for loving us. And we will continue to be truthful, to be honest, and be real. We will never switch up and chase the bag for clout or anything. We do this thing for the people because we are for the people.
Oh, genuine. Yep.